Howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. And welcome back to Sci-Fi Sundays.
Welcome, everybody.
We're just hanging out. Hey, it worked. I was hoping it was going to work, Monk.
Yep, always does.
And it did. David has been summoned. Eureka! Eureka! I love it. Well, we're doing another bit of a hangout Sunday. Before you start, what's up, Mike? What's happening? Now I'm waiting. Now I'm intrigued. But yeah, I guess it's just a regular Sunday. We're hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking this morning about maybe trying to get an afterthoughts going sometime this week for Alien Earth. But it seems like Sarah won't be able to do it on Tuesday or Thursday, which are the days we're kind of planning out and trying to think for. So we might do a little mini afterthoughts today. Mm-hmm. And talk about whatever else we're feeling. You know, It is Sci-Fi Sundays and we're just hanging. So holler and we'll hang, y'all. Yes, always.
I know. I've been working on getting some more. I'm getting tired of the same ones I have. But anyway.
Mike was saying before we start, he thought Rings of Power had been canceled, but Google says they're doing 5 series.
Right. Yeah, didn't they upfront pay for 5 of them already? Or
yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
They're getting 5 series no matter what, or 5 season series, whatever, no matter what. That was part of that $1.1 billion deal for Rings of Power to be made. It was supposed to be 5 series, no matter what, with the ability to extend. It's not going to be extended, but it's going to make 5 seasons, like contractually obliged to.
Yeah. What? Alien Earth was crap. No way.
I understand the thought process. I don't agree with it, but I do understand the thought process. I think that's going to be a big old thing, discussion point for this Tuesday or Thursday. And Monk, I was literally, as it happened in the show, I was just waiting. I was waiting for a message from you, honestly. I was like, this is Monk's moment right here. He's been talking about it for 3 weeks. I'm like, here we are. And it was great. It was really good. That episode, I don't know. You still haven't watched any Peacemaker, have you?
No, I've not. It's not my thing.
Well, I don't blame
I
you.
should check it out because you guys are always talking about it, and so I can actually have something to say instead of sitting here every time you guys bring it up. But
Peacemakers this season has almost been more for. I think it's a better show than this first season. It's definitely leaning into that kind of prestige soap opera, as Joshua Patton described things last weekend, which is fun and fine, but you're not really getting any superheroing, and they literally cut out around the superheroing of Peacemaker season 2, which is kind of like, come on, you know?
Isn't that the point?
Yeah, you know?
Is it rare? Okay.
I guess it has really become a soap opera, and that's the thing that's kind of getting me. But it's been mostly, I guess, meant for world building and introducing other characters and doing so on and so forth. I'll give a spoiler for this character. He might be bald, that just showed up in episode 2 of Peacemaker.
Uh,
Maybe from another DC property we've seen. Maybe even this summer. I don't know. Maybe.
Could be.
And that was cool. Those moments are cool. I just feel like they take away from the overall story. Everything besides Peacemaker's story are the more interesting aspects of Peacemaker so far. It's just interesting. I do think it's better, but the excitement I was having is no longer there. I'm laughing at the bird joke now a lot, Monk. I love me some Tim Meadows, but it's a big season of nothing so far. Well, this all could have been done within one episode, beat sheet wise, and it would be better all in 1 or 2 episodes as like a longer opening for a season rather than this is the season that we've got. That's I think one of my biggest issues with James Gunn TV is there's a lot of pretty and cool things happening. The substance is not there a lot of the times, and it's sadly not great. But bada bing, have fun. It's real football day. It is a football day. I'll probably have some Texans on in the background later. We will get to your stuff here in a second because there are some interesting topics to talk about with an alien.
Yeah.
Chaplo, howdy.
Hello.
Where were the owls? Damn it.
I don't get that joke. I don't know why I'm laughing. But anyway.
It's
funny.
The whole bird thing. You've heard me complain too much about bird blindness the last 2 weeks anyway. Oh. But to get to the fun stuff, I guess. Oh, okay. I guess before we really dive in, what did we watch this week? What have we seen?
Well, I went to see Linkin Park Wednesday night with my husband. That was fun. That was great.
They have a new lead singer, don't they?
Yeah. Yep. Emily Armstrong.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. They got a female lead vocalist, which, anyway. Some people find that controversial. They think like it should have never come back after Chester, but I don't know. I don't agree. I think they sound good. What else? Haven't really watched. We watched some Star Trek this week. Been watching a lot of, preseason hockey games. Mariners, they've got something going on. Yeah. Watch a lot of Mariners and hockey mostly. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I don't know if I've seen a movie in theaters this week, which should make me want to bang my head against a wall. But it's been good because we've been writing a whole bunch. But
right,
I guess I started a little bit of a show last night, just because it's in the same kind of vein of what we're doing. That'll be the only hint I'll let you all know about what we're doing in the background for a little while. But it's like a horror comedy movie or TV show, excuse me, Shining Veil, and it's kind of similar to what we're trying to achieve. So I think that's something I'll be watching as well. Watched a little bit of Marin. Watched. I guess we got a little Farscape tree on this week. Finished Alien Earth. New Peacemaker episode. I did watch the first 2 episodes of the new season of Futurama. Best sci-fi ever. What'd you say, huh? I didn't hear anything.
If Jay was here, he would have thoughts.
Give him a little aneurysm real quick.
Yeah.
I guess technically the tail end of Stargate Infinity from the past week.
Right.
And her tattoo removal when she's got, like Sarah was saying last week, tattoos on her head the entire show.
Right, and multiple piercings and stuff. It's like, what? Why?
No, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Try it up.
Mariners thing.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah.
Besides that, shoot, we've actually, after we've been writing, we've played a few games of Magic the Gathering this week, so we've been nerding out a bunch. So that's not the worst, It takes up a lot of time where I can't watch things, but oh no, I'm using my brain. Shoot, I feel like there's something I'm forgetting, and I'll probably just holler it out later when I do remember. Nope, that didn't help jog my memory. So, let's just jump in. What do y'all want to talk about today? We are hanging. We'll obviously discuss Alien Earth. Are there anything specific is there anything specific that we should focus on within Alien Earth to start off? Or should we go back up here? What was it? Bada bang? Or bada bing, bada bang?
Their pets. I always saw it as like they see Wendy as a queen. So they're just following her because she's the queen. To me, anyway.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't take it as pets.
No.
I've almost taken it as Wendy is. Oh, no spoilers. Sorry, Choplo. This is gonna be a bit of a spoiler.
Yeah.
This one's gonna be a bit of a spoiler. Well, it's time to binge it, my friend. It is time to binge it.
Yep.
There's a lot to talk about, and we will have the afterthoughts this week as well. So we will be discussing it more too. So there will be a lot of discussion around it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, put that spoiler chat up there. Sorry, Choplo. But we got some Alien to discuss. The xenomorphs. They're too intriguing. We can't get rid of them, and it's kind of a fun thing that we can't get rid of them. Not terrifying, but fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I took the xenomorphs as being Wendy's pet. I almost took it as Wendy being the xenomorph's pet. It's not like she taught them our language. They very well might understand that for all we know. Right. I was thinking it was almost more of her being taught a language that's almost passed down genetically, like the Gua'uld. It doesn't seem like xenomorphs need other xenomorphs to teach them knowledge or anything like that. It seems like they're pretty baked into their existence, which seems like a genetic DNA kind of deal, like genetic memory within their DNA or something like that. Kind of like a Gua'uld would be, which I like a little bit. But also, it does kind of come off opposite, where Wendy's, I'm befriending a little xenomorph, and now it's my buddy. It's not shown all that well. I think this is the most, and I hate saying it, but like I think it's the most rudimentary of any Noah Hawley show there's ever been. Part of that is because it's focusing mostly on young people with young minds, I guess, being put into adult bodies. But
yeah,
it's still the most, I wouldn't say remedial, but it is the most juvenile thing of Noah Hawley's I think there's ever been. I still really enjoyed it and think there's some great ideas in there. But it doesn't have that polish that a Noah Hawley project typically has.
Right.
And I think those xenomorphs are kind of there.
Yeah. I think they were trying to not make it too complicated for a season 1, maybe. So it was more simplified, and it's kind of hard to have, kids in adult bodies, but they're not really kids. And I wouldn't say they're children anymore after the last episode.
Yeah, no longer. No moss on that one.
Yeah. Especially after, Nibs went all, anyway, what she did, like, holy crap. Just
crazy
people's faces off and crap. I mean, why not, But hey, they threw Mr. Strawberry in the water. That was the last straw.
that strawberry popped. It was a ooh. Yeah. It's
the overall theme is obviously kind of like the hubris of humanity or whatever, that we think we can control all these alien beings. Like earlier in the series, Kirsch, I always want to call it, is it Hirsch or Kirsch? I always want to mix that up. It's Kirsch. Kirsch has that conversation with Wendy when they were flying to the crash site about we were once food and then our brains grew and we dominated and we think that we can't be food anymore, and that's just not true. And this is kind of showing that,
Yeah. One of the things, yes. Sorry, I was reading the chat as well. I was also thinking, what you said made me think about do you think, because you remember the reports before we actually started watching the show, before the show came out, that, okay, the show might have been a little more focused on the politics of the world, and they had to strip some of that out and put some action back in there.
Right.
Do you think some of the... I think the pacing works just fine within the show, realistically. But do you think some of the, not necessarily lack of quality writing, but lack of cohesiveness to some degree? Because it still is pretty cohesive. It does feel like it's just been stripped back a little bit. Do you think some of that has been left out purposely for season 2?
Probably. I think they really wanted to catch people and draw them in, and action does that, not the slow burn. That's more for like a streaming show, the slow burn, it seems like. Like for network television, it seems like you got to have it a little fast paced, more simplified. Whereas like in streaming, you can do the slow pace, the more complex story. And I think a lot of us are used to that. So to have like a network show that's not quite there has been dumbed down maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think they'll get there with the political stuff if they keep... I mean, they haven't officially said there's a season 2. I think everyone's assuming there's going to be, because I think it did really well. But yeah, it'd be interesting to get... I mean, I think we'll see more of that, because at the end of the season, Yutani they're flying their ships to the island, and we'll see what effect that has in terms of like their truces, treaties they have amongst each other and all of that, because they're basically invading another corporation's thing. So we have to see how the other corporations react to that, and what happens there will be interesting.
Because technically, the corporations are nations at this point, so this is an act of war by definition, and they already have technically invaded the island with the people in the wetsuits. That is interesting.
They were doing covert, now they're doing overt.
yeah, quite literally flying over.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree the boy genius is not as genius as he thinks he is.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I don't agree. I think he's super genius. I think they lead into him being you've got chronic ADHD, whatever. Right. I think they lean into him almost letting that genius not lessen his genius, but lessen his or almost curiosity kills the cat in a way. He's smart enough where that curiosity is piqued too much, and then that curiosity is what gets the best of him. I think Chopper binge watching is going to be cool, don't you think?
Yeah, I almost wanted to. I was like, it's only 8 episodes. I could just binge it in one day easily, just kind of have it on while I'm doing whatever. But yeah.
Just to
I do
want to talk about that.
That's what I call it. Anyway.
We were waiting so long. That was a little bit of a disappointing reveal, if I'm being honest. But
yeah, that's just a Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's got bat wings, and it wrapped somebody up in the wings.
Yeah,
wow.
That was pretty gross, though, how it kind of like crushed her. There was blood and guts everywhere. That was a little...
The one thing about that made me just... Come on. Was... Girl's already dead. Homegirl that just got sucked up with the frickin' the roof plant. She's dead, no matter what. We've watched her a few times. She's dead. But home guy with the gun pointing at the monster and her just watches it happen, and then it leaves room for Jane to come beat him over the head with the big old piece of metal.
Yeah.
Why did he not just shoot her? Obviously, his friend's dead. She's not going to be coming out of that thing. Shoot the damn alien in the air that you're aiming at. And then you just turn around.
He does shoot at it, but I don't... Yeah, it's like, why not just...
He watched it more so. He like shot at it before she started. Yeah. And I guess you don't necessarily want to shoot at your friend, but she's dead. He knows that. He's just watched aliens eat alive 99% of the other people on the island.
Right. He just seems in shock. Like he can't, like, oh, that's like just that it happened. Like he seems to be kind of like stunned by it, and then slow reaction. And anyway,
But how... I don't understand. I think that's what they're going for, but I don't understand how he's in shock whenever his body's used to shock and adrenaline within the most recent hour or two, 3, 4 hours, whatever it is. He was just on the boat with Nibs and all that.
And what happened, when they were in the building at the crash
Xenomorph,
site. Yeah.
I'm not convinced. The story told me that he shouldn't be in shock right there.
Right.
One thing I do find amusing, at least, that now I can buy that he was in shock. I struggle to buy that the incredible number of rounds she shot missed him.
Yeah.
Because she was shooting all throughout, getting eaten as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was just spraying bullets.
Either way, she should have accidentally shot him, or he should have accidentally shot her. It would have been more interesting if Jane accidentally got shot when she was trying to go up behind him and do that, and maybe she got injured. And that leaves a little bit of ambiguity of, maybe our Lost Boys aren't, obviously they're not immortal and they're not incapable of being killed, because we saw Isaac earlier.
We still don't know if they kind of left it a little open if they can recover him or not. They weren't sure.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
If I had to guess, that's how we're going to open season 2. With Weyland-Yutani making a new Isaac.
Could be. What they do, what happens on the island, the technology they steal, or do they just take the island and say, this is now Weyland-Yutani's property?
Well, the couple things that would get in the way of that would be there are still 5 other aliens that have now been let out of cages around this island.
Yeah.
Probably.
I guess they would know about them through, what's his name? Oh my gosh, totally drawing a blank. Morrow.
Morrow, thank you. I was like, oh, no.
Morrow would know about all of it. That's right. Hello.
So there's the 5 aliens, but then there's also another set of 5. I think it's 5. Maybe it's 4. Maybe it's 6. The Lost Boys. They're still there.
Yeah.
I don't think
going to rule. The last line was now we roll. Was that the last line in the episode?
I believe.
Yeah.
Which means they don't seem like they're going to be friendly with Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah, that's
especially after Slightly has been getting parental death threats through Weyland-Yutani.
Right. Which Morrow tells him, I didn't do anything to your family. I just said that.
It's like, I don't know if I believe you. Why would I believe you saying that, Morrow?
Right.
No. They will both be, the Lost Boys and the other aliens will all be obviously kind of villainous to some degree, but the hard point to get through or get past on the island for the Weyland-Yutani troops. Does that mean we're now following? Do you believe in season 2? Because there's not. Noah Hawley said there is a season 2 planned. Just has not been technically greenlit yet. For all we know. Does that make it where we're following the villains in the next season, or are they the good guy? Or what level of good and bad are we at around? Because I don't think anybody ever was truly a good guy. That was obvious.
Right. I don't know if they'll ever be a good guy. It'll just be interesting to see, like, are the Lost Boys going to fight the Weyland-Yutani invasion, with using the xenomorphs and just their abilities? Are they going to fight off these troops? Because, they're not going to be impervious to Yutani's attacks. They're going to know what they're going to have to do to take out these kids and their kids. So how good are they at strategy and stuff like that? Wendy seems pretty smart at that kind of stuff, and she seemed to figure out real quickly how the real world works. And but it's still kind of a black and white childlike view of, like, there's only good, only bad. And I think she's kind of figuring out that, okay, it's not that black and white really, but we'll see what happens. But it'll be interesting. I'm just curious how all that stuff on the island is going to go down. They left it as a cliffhanger, you know.
Yeah, I think the one person that is actually showing her the gray, because she's approached it as black and white, even whenever she's figuring out the aliens are maybe not as evil as she thought, and maybe humans are more evil than she thought. It's almost like she does do a complete 180 almost and says, okay, aliens are good guys now, people are bad guys.
Right.
That's pretty black and white. I think the only thing that keeps her out of staying in that is Joe, old hermit.
Yeah.
Now, what the hell is going to happen with Hermit?
Yeah, because they tried to get Teoculus to take him, but he escaped down a little, what was it, he escaped into a little, like, outlet in the floor.
and
now took over on
an Arthurian journey.
Yeah, so it's like, how long is that? I mean, because his body's already started to kind of, it's like, ew. You're gonna... he can't have Arthur's, because Arthur's, his heart has exploded or whatever, right?
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, what internal organs are left?
Yeah, I mean, how can he even, like...
operate?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that can't last long. I mean... So... But I mean, that's become one of the most interesting characters, I think, in the show is Teoculus.
Yeah, Octo-Eye. Yeah, I was going to say Arthur, but Octo-Eye for sure.
Yeah.
Teoculus.
I want to see how really intelligent it is, once because you would think at some point they're going to be able to have a conversation or communicate on some level. It's just getting the right host or whatever. But
do you think... because obviously this is pretty early in the Alien and Predator, I guess, franchises overall. Are we... because we don't see these other aliens around. We don't hear anything about the synths in the future. Synths in the future. Hybrids, whatever they are,
hybrids. Yeah, they're hybrids.
I said synth, and I was like, no, we see a lot of synths.
Kirsch is one of those, yeah.
Are we going to be told later down the line that a character we knew was Octo-Eye, or maybe Wayland himself or Yutani herself was an Octo-Eye for a bit? Do you think they're going to set it up where we're going to end up? And that's a question as well, Stanley. Does Teoculus now gain all of Arthur's memories?
Right. I mean, does he just hijack the brain and motor functions, or is he actually like syncing with that person's? That'll be interesting to know. You don't.
Because one thing that's also been made clear is, or still left unclear, is we don't know if the moon that they got all these things on, is it the same moon that xenomorphs are like from, or is it just the place where xenomorphs started hatching and they've kind of taken a little reign over some stuff?
Yeah, unclear. Yeah, because in Prometheus, is that the origination of xenomorphs? I don't know.
That's where I want them to finish the trilogy. Give us Prometheus, the third one.
Yeah.
I know people don't love the not, I almost said planet builders. The what are they called? Engineers in Prometheus and Covenant, but it makes sense. I think overall it makes sense, and it is pretty cool. I think Earth got nuked after the events of this. We never saw Earth in the movies. Yeah, but we hear about it. And we see like old Wayland at certain points.
Right.
I'm just trying to think about if they're going to try to not shoehorn or pigeonhole necessarily. It could feel like that if it's not handled correctly or well. Thank you, Alex, for the engineers. I'm just intrigued, and I guess we're trying to figure out if we think there is going to be one of these aliens was Wayland, or I don't think the Octo-Eye is inside a synth or anything like that, but so on and so forth.
Right.
Thinking of the Octo-Eye, though, the genetic memory thing, maybe that, if it is the same planet as the xenomorph, maybe it does have a genetic memory of some sort. And if it is able to wrap around a brain, it gains what was the consciousness of it before, or something like that. And it can get those memories. Because It's smart enough to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see it talk through the guy's eye on board the ship.
Right. The engineer on what was the name of the ship? The Maginot? Was that the name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are we going to end up with it? Is it going to be dead next season? Because that would be kind of boring in a way, but...
Or is that the only one they have? How does it reproduce?
That's a great question, too. Because we saw the little tick things just spit all their... what they drank water, then spit their offspring into there. How would...
Yeah.
That's not how we expected them to reproduce. I don't think anybody expected xenomorphs to reproduce the way they do the first time anybody saw a xenomorph either.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the octopi do it? It seems like all of them produce asexually to some degree, so they can kind of just reproduce at a whim.
Right.
Why haven't we seen the octopi do that as well? It diarrheaed the babies. It did, Alex.
It did. That was so disgusting.
And then she drinks it all. Or he drinks it, I guess, right after.
The apprentice engineer guy.
Poor buddy.
Yeah.
Poor buddy.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't see how more of those things didn't. I guess we don't know if those things took out the crew or not throughout it. I still have some questions about all the ship stuff to some degrees, too.
Yeah. Like, where did those tick things go? I guess they're in the lab. I don't think they actually show them in the lab, do they? But they must have.
Well, because the ones we see in the lab are octopi, roof plant, xenomorph,
right,
hatchling.
Yeah.
Because xenomorph hatchling was counted as another, right? And then the fifth one would be the horsefly.
Yeah.
I'm not forgetting one, am I? Because the only other one is the tick.
The tick. Vampire ticks. That's what I call it.
Which, if those were all over the ship when the Maginot crashed,
right,
that could be set for season 2 of, we thought we controlled everything from the crash. Mm. The smallest and maybe hardest to dispose of to some degree have spread all throughout this city now or something like that.
Right, like how do you, So they have to nuke the city. That's how to get rid of them.
Hey, I mean, shoot, that would play into yeah, that's just funky.
Right. I thought Ripley went back to Earth and Aliens. That wasn't Earth. Maybe I missed that. I don't know. Or I'm just assuming it's Earth. Maybe they say it's not. I don't remember.
Do they say? I don't. It's been.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they say. I think maybe I've just been always assuming that. But
yeah, because if the ticks do spread out across the city, wherever they are.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, an element of season 1 that I am confused about intrigued about how they will play and portray it in season 2 is Prodigy. Mm-hmm. Prodigy's still a very active company. Sure, the head of it doesn't even seem like a vice president of Prodigy or a CFO of Prodigy, or if Boy Cavalier was the president of Prodigy, who's the CEO. It seems like it was literally him, his right-hand man, his synth, 2 of which are synths. He's not going to promote them to the head of the company.
Yeah. That's an interesting story there, too. Anyway, but finish your...
I guess just because his dad... synth dad...
he built a synth and then...
Was the figurehead
of the synth kill his real dad and made the synth play his dad, but is that Adam? I thought it was. But
that was Adam.
Yeah. That was interesting.
That was interesting, and it made sense. It totally did make sense, and it shows Boy Cavalier as he's not necessarily the worst guy in the world, but he's actually he might be. It's kind of one of those moments. The bald synth is probably second in command of his company. I don't think so, because they laid it out where he started out as in charge of the company, and then Boy Cavalier aged into the company because that was his figurehead beforehand.
Right.
So I don't think he'd be a the second in command anymore. He'd probably have people to do the mundane work aspect of it because he has the synth literally as his bodyguard more than anything.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that leaves
Wendy's able to freeze him was really cool too.
Oh.
I thought it was cool.
One of my friends and his wife came over, and the three of us were watching it. And as he froze, as Adam froze, we all went. It was one of those moments. It was great. I love watching that with more people too, because it's just like, what's going on?
Yeah, and that is, but his eyes could still move. I thought that was cool.
Perfectly creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, the old young Anakin built C-3PO trope.
Exactly.
Hey, there are some savants in the world. What can we do about it? You know,
right?
Weren't they going to Earth in the fourth Alien film? Because I'm sure we see Earth at the end of that film. Where's my memory going? We're gonna have to rewatch all of them at some point, and then we will let you know.
Yeah. Patreon.
Somebody. Patreon. Hey, Donnie.
Hello.
Oh wait, passing. I got excited and that's a shame. But yeah, we're talking a little more Alien Earth over here, Donnie. We are diving into the depths of the xenomorphs and friends, xenomorph and pals. Just jokingly saying that kind of brings up a thought. Do you think the xenomorphs are more friendly with Wendy and the Lost Boys, or are they more friendly with the other aliens that are on board? Because we have seen the Octo-Eye not be friendly with the xenomorph, but that almost does seem like a intelligence thing, where it's like, okay, one of us is in charge here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you think Xenomorph is succinctly friends and buddies and pals with the Lost Boys now, or is there still room?
No, I think they're, like I said, I for me, I think it's just they see Wendy as the queen. So maybe they view the Lost Boys as other, I don't know, I mean, what is a group of xenomorphs called? The Hive or whatever they are? I guess it's like...
It's a pod. If anything, we should borrow the show. They should be murders.
They have, kind of a hive thing, I guess, going on. So if they see her as the queen, maybe because she accepts whoever she accepts or she tells them to accept, they just see as part of the collective or whatever you call it.
That is seemingly the most logical.
Mm-hmm.
I would also be the most bored with that one.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious, but
I wouldn't mind. I don't think they're going to be borrowing from the comics or anything like that, but there is one comic character that is like that becomes like the true xenomorph queen of all xenomorphs, kind of deal. And there is some, I guess, speculation that Wendy may become that at some point, but I really don't think so. I don't know why xenomorphs would praise a synthetic being eventually. They are typically tearing it in half and just keep going about their day. And they're smart enough where I don't think many of the xenomorphs... we haven't seen Marcy interact and talk to an adult xenomorph that she didn't help raise, essentially.
Right.
So maybe the rest of them really don't care for her at all. Which would be an interesting kind of play in season 2 if maybe the baby xenomorph gets out and it hasn't been talked to and raised with the little chittering and chattering that Wendy and the xenomorph partake in. Yeah. Maybe that would keep xenomorphs at each other's. I don't know if we've ever seen Alien versus Alien, really, but maybe.
It's possible. If they have a hierarchy, that they... I don't know if they do, because like I said, it just seems like a queen and her drones kind of thing situation.
Because that's what it set out to be. But Noah Hawley just turns things on his head so often. And part of me, with what we were saying earlier about this kind of being the most remedial of Noah Hawley shows there has been, and jovial, juvenile, all of the above. Not jovial, that's the wrong term. Juvenile though, in the sense of younger oriented, because even though this is an alien show that fits much more for not necessarily an older crowd, but a crowd that enjoys mature sci-fi more. This introduced threads of that, but it wasn't necessarily. Part of my brain goes to, okay, well, maybe that's just Disney trying to diversify the amount of people that can watch the show.
Right. I think that's a big part of it. You know, like I said before, the network television versus streaming television.
Well, the only thing that throws me off about that a little bit is Noah Hawley. All of his other projects have been network television too, and they are the epitome of slow burns.
Right.
And he has that working relationship with FX, now Fox and Disney, where they'll let him do most things.
Yeah.
The thing where I'm thinking happened is the politics and everything else within the show got spread out to season 2. And what we see is a shell of season 1. I think the shell is a pretty damn strong shell.
Yeah.
But some of the, I guess, concepts, some of the overall alien lore that's already been introduced and is being introduced could have had a little bit more time spent, and not necessarily just time spent, but a little exposition. Give us little expository spots where we can learn about what's going on.
Yeah, they had to walk. I don't know if they were trying to walk that line of like everybody who's seen all the movies and knows everything, and someone who is just watching this for the first time, never having seen anything before.
Do you think this is a good hopping on point for people in their first time? Didn't mean to cut you off, but just asking that question.
I think you're going to miss a lot of things. I mean, I think you can watch it just as the first thing, but I think you're going to miss a lot of the little things in there, like just how the ships looked and the design and stuff, how it's so like fit with the original stuff. You know, you don't really get to enjoy that if you haven't seen it before. But yeah.
What were you saying right before that? Sorry.
I don't remember.
Well, just with that thought, do you think the original Alien film is the best place to start? Or do you think Prometheus is?
Good question. I want to say like the original Alien movie, but if you want to watch it watch the story chronologically, it just depends. It might be fun to watch Alien and then watch it all over again chronologically just to get the same feel or whatever.
All right. Well, if you were going to suggest it to somebody for their first time watching any Alien ever, what order would you suggest, I guess? Knowing Alien Earth now exists.
I'm just kind of, do I go with like what's my favorite or what would be the best? I think it would be like watch like the first 3 and then I probably would be like, I have not watched Alien versus Predator stuff. I need to do a whole watch through and watch all those. I know. I've heard they're not good, but there's little things in there that it's worth getting those nuggets for or whatever.
Yeah. You'll like those.
Yeah, I think I would go with like the first 3 and then maybe go back and watch Prometheus and Covenant and the series. Probably. It's hard to...
It is kind of interesting.
No, I'll have to rewatch them all and rank that and maybe do a video on it. There, I have a video idea for my channel.
That'd be good. Yeah, that's where it was. Stanley said watch in released order. I think that would actually be one of the worst ways to do it. Obviously, Alien and Aliens and Alien 3 kind of makes sense.
Right.
But between all of those, you have Alien Earth and Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I forgot about Romulus.
And Romulus is great.
Can't believe I dropped. Look at that. I gotta watch. I haven't watched it again. I need to. It's like, that's so good. Yeah.
Romulus and Earth would be the 2 things I would say original release order, as in just year-wise, kind of makes that lesson just a bit. Y'all know what I'm gonna say though. I I don't actually agree with Peter here. The suspense of Alien would be ruined watching chronologically. I don't think so. Excuse me. I think by the time you get to Alien, if you've already watched Prometheus and Alien Covenant and you understand the inner workings of aliens,
right.
I think the original Alien film would hit even harder for someone watching it the first time. Anticipation is a stronger emotion than surprise. Hold up. Just because one of my old roommates on the old M-Cube stuff, we used to have this argument all the time because I like to get the news and stuff like that, yada, yada, and, stay a little bit ahead of the curve at times. Okay, this is it. How to do a plot twist. It is a video from 8 years ago, 3.3 million views from Now You See It. It opens up with a little Velma on the front and yada, yada, yada. How to do a plot twist by Now You See It with 956,000 subscribers as we are going here. Now, in that video, long-winded way of saying it all, it essentially describes, and there are actual studies, and it quotes the studies. I don't remember which studies it was, so on and so forth, off the top of my head. But that video, I'm telling you because it can do it for me. It lays out chemically inside the human brain, we react much more strongly to anticipation rather like the monk. God. The bird blindness. Bird blindness. Say what?
No, Monk's got to throw a wrench in things.
He did, and he threw it right at the right time too. I was like, oh no. But anyway, anticipation is a stronger chemical emotion within our brain than surprise is. Surprise is great, but it sends us into fight or flight, and we're not thinking about things anymore. Anticipation, something's going to happen. You don't know exactly when. Timing is everything. Thank you, Monk. Timing is everything, and you just proved it twice in a row, sir. Yes. Damn you, but excellent, sir, all at once. So anticipation is a stronger chemical emotion in our brain. So if we understand something is coming and don't know exactly when it's going to happen, that timing is going to be much more rewarding for you and any human being. It is a chemical thing in our brain. That's just how those chemicals work. So surprise is not as strong as anticipation. So that brings my thought process to, if you've watched Prometheus and Alien Covenant and you understand how xenomorphs work and why they're even in existence, by the time you make it to the original film, all you're thinking about is all that stuff.
Right.
Which Alien is not. It's a totally different movie, and there are going to be some like preconceived thoughts about Alien movie, the original Alien movie, and Alien, so on and so forth. Right. Everyone will already have those, no matter what. If someone's never seen Alien and only has Prometheus and Alien Covenant to go from, all of the things they know about Alien are now going to be trying to be filtered through the thought process of what they already have. So by the time they get to Alien, and this movie is completely different than Prometheus or Alien Covenant in the way it's shot, the way it's laid out, framed, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
Oh, we're not in like a thriller with aspects of horror, because Prometheus and Covenant are totally thriller movies more so. Alien is a horror movie. And then they go back into thriller, more everything else. But Alien is a horror movie for damn sure. I feel like the anticipation of, okay, I know a xenomorph's going to pop out. Oh, every moment I feel like would hit so much stronger because of that. And now we need to find somebody who's never seen Alien so we can try this theory out. Or maybe two, and do it from both ways. Yeah. But that's why I would say chronologically. But also, I'm crazy and explaining the whole thing out there. So if you watch any Monty Python, you understand my reasons. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. My brain just went to shrubbery.
Me.
The knights who say
me.
It's so good. God. I watched that movie in middle school. My dad and like I think 3 other dads and all of the sons that were my age that just grew up with and friends with. We all watched that. I think it was like 6th or 7th grade, something like that. We were doing a play that was a Monty Python based play in our middle school at the time, and our dads were like, "Okay, if all of you are going to go do it, you need to know Monty Python." So they showed us the Holy Grail, and I think that was a spiritual awakening of comedy there.
Yeah.
It's so great.
It is so good.
Hey, DJ Play Nice. How are you? And thank you. Woo-hoo! I almost wanted to say raw. I almost made this naturally just went rock, but I guess there we go. I did it. But what if I don't like Spam? Have you tried the Korean barbecue Spam? You might like Spam. I don't know. I'll have your Spam. I love it. I have Spams in Spam. Oh, God.
Recipe ideas?
Heyo. Was the show Spam a lot? Heyo. No, it was I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was my I guess the lady that got me into acting and introduced me to the people that got me to move out to LA to do all this as well. She would take plays and do regular plays as well, trying to retrofit them for a middle school audience and middle schoolers performing at the time. But she did it was a skit from Monty Python's Flying Circus. There's even a Spam song. Yeah. We had it was an amalgamation of Monty Python skits and sketches from different things. Most of it was from Flying Circus, but we had I think 1 or 2 things. Maybe all of them were from Flying Circus. It was 15, 18 years ago, something like that. 15, 12, I don't know. Some kind of over a decade ago, years ago. And I was a young one, so I don't know. I thought you and your mates would do the Lumberjack song. Yeah, did the adaptations herself. Nice. Yeah, really talented lady. Her name's Ramona Young. Great person. I want to see her come out to LA. She used to come out to LA every summer and I guess help the guy that she introduced me to that convinced me to move out here would help him do his acting classes all summer. And she hasn't done it in a couple years, I think since COVID. But it'd be fun. Monk, sleep all night, work all day. Sounds about right. Back to Alien Earth and anything else we were discussing there.
Yeah. We got about 15 minutes till I gotta go. So
okay, yeah. We'll call it a hard out at noontime over here on the Pacific Coast. That actually works for me as well because talking about writer's room and stuff up in the earlier chat, there's a writer's room inside right now. They're no longer non-existent. That's what I think somebody said. Is, do writers' rooms even happen anymore? There's one happening inside right now. Obviously, not some fancy network writer's room or anything like that, but yeah, they do happen. But it's a writer's room from the network isn't necessarily always, okay, we want 4 to 8 people or 3 to 5 people, however big the writer's room is. If you're coming from the network perspective, it's not, let me find the best people for the job in here. It's more like, who do we have at hand that can go right over here and has done something similar-ish before, rather than take the methodical approach of, okay, well, we've got 40 on-staff people that would be good for a writer's room. These 4, these 2 love horror movies. These 2 love sci-fi movies. This guy's done a lot of H.R. Geiger kind of work, kind of deal, or maybe more like The Thing and stuff like that. And then this person's done some cerebral sci-fi kind of things. Okay, now you put those 4 together, and then you have an Alien Earth kind of deal. I don't believe that is the approach most of the larger studios take.
No.
But for the young folks, for the babies of the industries, the ones that don't have the billions to play around with, or the hundreds of millions, or the tens of millions to play around with, There's still writers' rooms, and they're typically more not thought out but focused, I'd say. And you can see the lack of focus in a lot of the big TV shows we've had in the last couple of years as well. It's more, oh yeah, we forgot we were trying to tell a story, and we just wanted to hit this note, and this note, and make sure this was added into the season.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Oop, yep. What?
Yeah.
Well, we can jump back into Alien Earth if we want to at all. Is there anything else we want to talk about while we're hanging, though?
I think we hit most of the key points. We'll have to see. They make it a little more sophisticated season 2. I think they will. I think this is very much like an introduction. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it, let's hit on all those things. Let's make everything look how everybody wants it to look. Let's, have the interactions be what people want, and then we'll build on that.
Yeah. I'm with you. Just made me think a little bit.
But I loved the show. I thought it was great. I mean, when that opening scene happened and they had it look exactly like the beginning of the Alien movie, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Loved it.
It was great. Hey, that is what I forgot. I am caught up on Gen V. And it's been pretty good. I really didn't like Boys Season 4. And it's not because of the politicalization of it, but it wasn't not. It was more like, okay, once again, we're checking boxes and not telling a story. And it's not checking diversity boxes or anything like that. It's checking boxes of, oh, well, this needs to be here, this needs to be here, this needs to be here. And it doesn't pertain to the actual story at hand. And then you try to shoehorn the narrative into what could have been the narrative of a wonderful little story. Season 2 of Gen V so far, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Happily surprised. Monk said, I once wrote an entire one-act play based on Monty Python skits for my theater capstone for my BA. It was a success. Half the audience walked out due to the satire being too close to the bone. It was great. That is about the biggest
script.
Yeah, I was going to say that might be the biggest compliment you can get. Yeah. Also, if you do have the script, we could produce it at one of Greg's play houses if you ever want to do something like that. If you want to get your script back out in the world, we can make it happen. That might be fun. Say that again, Peter, and I have the power to put you in timeout. No bloody Ewoks. Where are the Ewoks? Oh, Ewoks anymore. Okay, so 1 out of 10 in Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Where would you put and what would you put?
Well, I think the good is the visuals. The effects all looked really good. The look, the feel, like tying in modern with keeping it in touch with the original films. That was all really well done. We're doing good, bad, ugly?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then just wait after.
Yeah. The ugly, I think, was some of the kids being kids stuff was a little bit kind of heavy-handed sometimes. Not a lot, but that was a little at times. Bad. What was really bad?
It might be okay to not have a bad. It might be a good thing if there's not a bad.
Yeah, I don't really have a bad per se. I think just the ugly bad, that's kind of my thing, of just some questionable stuff with the kids and but I think they're developing the kids. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, there's an element of that for sure.
My overall out of 10 ranking of the series, 9 for me. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means we've got some good sci-fi, and that's what we need, I think the ugly would be. I think the bad would be the stripped down aspects of the writing, that you can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, that might have made more sense with a little bit more context or something like that, where you can just
Right.
feel that something was removed. It still flows very well. Whoever I can't speak, edited Alien Earth
It's
did a
always hard to say
great
that word.
job. Edited.
Yeah.
My oh my god, quick little aside there. My roommate was helping me do some voices for my voice acting demo that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things was a Regal 40X ad. It was my commercial, I think, demo. And you know, it's just me reading from commercials for commercials to hopefully be able to get jobs to write and read commercials for people and so on and so forth.
Yep.
And one of the things was Regal 40X thing, and it was experience Regal 40X, and I was trying to like do an epic voice, but then I was like, maybe the epic voice isn't working. Let me do a regular voice, and I was just trying to figure out what would actually fit there. And I went experience. Jimi Hendrix, the experience. It was a whole little thing. I was just kind of
went
off on a tangent for a second, and my roommate put it as his damn ringtone. So every time I call him, all I hear is experience. I'm like, what's going on? It was that exact thing, same thing, but worse. He's going to clip editing out and now make it as text tone or something, and I'm going to live in a hell. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
The bad, back to the thought process, I guess would be the what comes off as juvenile writing at some points. I do really believe that's because it got stripped back and probably extended into season 2 in some way.
Yeah.
The ugly, I would agree with you. I think you said it for the bad though. I would probably put it for the ugly is the kids.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's the heart of it all, but okay.
Yeah.
I guess kids would act that way, but
I mean, I like Wendy. Like that works for whatever reason. But the other kids, yeah.
I was annoyed because there are clever kids. There are a lot of kids that are way smarter than anybody will ever give them credit for.
Right.
And Wendy was the only one of those. Out of what, 6 of them, or 5, 6, 7 of them, however many there are. It's, Isaac might have been a smarter than the others to a degree, and he might have been like your other kind of brilliant kid there, but
well, he wanted to be a scientist.
Yeah, and maybe that childlike lack of thinking things through is what actually got to him.
Well, he wanted to prove he was all grown up and could do it all by himself, and
and I get that, but I know episode 6 is a pretty good episode to make it to, but if you have 2 episodes without you, and all the other Lost Boys are all pretty much the same character outside of Nibs. Nibs is the ginger psycho now. But and my roommate, the one with the freaking ringtones now, is also our household ginger psycho.
You have to get him a Mr. Strawberry.
I do. I have to. I would say the ugly would be the kids. Just
how that was handled sometimes. Like when Slightly and Smee bump into Morrow on the ship. Was that like the 3rd episode or whatever that was early on, where that was very like where they were trying to be funny, or I don't even remember what the exchange was, but it was like, okay, leaning a little too much into their kids, for my taste. But they didn't take it too far, but really right to the edge. It didn't like it.
Yeah, and David, you're right here. I think that was one of the things that annoyed me about the Isaac death too. Is it's
right.
There's not much you can say. It's just more of a really.
Yeah, the Octo-Eye scared him. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So Octo-Eye like wanted to take him out, which was kind of crazy. That he would have, that level of intelligence, to Of course, we see that Cavalier sees that, and that's why he becomes all intrigued.
I
Yeah.
would love it. Let me say the good first, though.
Mhm.
I think the good would be the horror. I think they did a good job of making things scary and ominous and eerie
Mhm. Yeah,
all
they did.
throughout,
Yeah.
and keeping the tone consistent within that.
Mhm.
Because it's not all horrific moments,
No.
but every moment is stripped back and pretty sciencey to a lot of ways. I guess not so much the kid discussions and all the Lost Boys stuff, but outside of that,
Right.
everything is stripped back and very cerebral. And
Mhm.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it taking the time to do all that. I wish it had a little bit more context, and I don't usually ask for exposition, but I would have enjoyed just a little bit more. And I feel like we'll get more of that in season 2 from that, though.
Yeah, I think they'll fill in more details, hopefully.
Yeah. Now the fun. I guess I do need to give it a rating real quick. I'd probably give it an 8.5. I think there's a too much room to grow for me to give it too much higher. Although I really want to get closer to that 9.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I think it will reach there. If it's a Noah Hawley show, I don't expect it not to reach there because the guy is so great. The thought, though, that I had in the middle of it that I had to stop myself from tangenting on there for a moment was I would love to see Boy Cavalier, and I guess Morrow, and I guess Kirsch, and I guess what's the doctor's name again? Who just let her husband die, essentially?
Sylvia.
Sylvia, there we go.
Mhm.
It'd be great if they were all rescued by Octo Arthur.
Maybe. We'll find out.
I
But I don't know if they want like zombie Arthur around because that's kind of disgusting. But
maybe there would be some rudimentary speech that it's able to get out and something like that, which would freak the hell out of Sylvia, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
And it would intrigue the hell out of Boy Cavalier.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the only way Cavalier is going to get out of it, when the aliens know kind of he's in charge, when Wendy knows he's in charge, when Weyland-Yutani knows he's in charge, he is the everybody is gunning for Boy Cavalier, essentially. Whether he's in the cage and imprisoned or not.
Right. I mean, Yutani wants to get their piece too.
Yeah, take Prodigy out real quick. Take the head out, and Prodigy Company might collapse.
Right.
It would be really interesting to have the Octo-Eye know the Xenomorphs have allies now. They're intelligent enough. They know that they want to take me out. Last time I saw a Xenomorph, first thing it did was try to kill me. First thing I did was try to kill it, Maybe Octo-Eye would kind of find a way to team up and have an alliance with Boy Cavalier, Kirsch and Morrow being on the same side. Didn't see that happening. What, huh?
Right.
What? It was obvious that they were going to fight and then end up being friends. I just always thought, I guess, that was going to end up happening from the conversations in the elevator. And I guess Sylvia with Arthur, all of them having the intelligence and know-how that even those 4 characters have, if they're able to be saved by the Octo-Eye, they could put a big dent in both the aliens and what Weyland-Yutani are doing. Which adds 3.5, because I don't think Octo-Eye would necessarily be like, yeah, now I'm pals with humans, I think it'd be more utilizing. So it'd be like 3
self-preservation,
and a half players on that chessboard, which would be good. And we need to see another chessboard for season 2, and it seems like it's already laid out. My cautionary thought, my trepidation going into season 2, which I find odd saying because I enjoyed every moment of action in this season, is that it might just be a little too action heavy, especially those first couple episodes, where I think they lose some of when there's too much action within it, it loses that cerebral sci-fi aspect of it, and it
Right.
takes you
I
away.
love the action though.
Oh, I do too. That's why I feel weird
Yeah.
saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those first 2 or 3 episodes might be so action heavy in season 2 that it might falter the story a little bit further on. But again,
Yeah.
if the context that was in season 1 is now in season 2, and Noah
Mhm.
Hawley is Noah Hawley,
Right.
we should be fine. We should be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Right.
Before we jump out of here, do you have any trepidations for season 2? Anything that you're like extra excited about?
I'm just really open and curious as to what's going to happen. I do think they will get into the politics a bit more because there's going to be fallout from what Utani's doing and the kids, taking power over the island and how that power struggle is going to play out and all of that. So be interesting to see. Of course, I think, I don't know what's going to happen with because it was kind of cool, the introduction of all these different aliens and what they did and their horrific abilities or, whatever they do to survive in their worlds. There isn't going to be as much of that for season 2 because now all that's been established. So I think they're going to have to get into more of the politics of things, but just I'll be interested to see because they're going to want to keep, the horror aspect of it to some degree.
Which I think Monk might have
alien
just
yeah.
given us a little bit of here. A 5-ounce bird cannot carry an 8-ounce coconut.
Yeah.
I think he's referring to the rooftop alien thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if
That
those
was
things are all... Sorry, go for it.
The Grail movie too. Monty Python Grail movie. There's that thing, and that I watched it again and didn't notice like that bird thing comes up like several times.
The swallows.
Didn't catch it the first time.
I love it. Was it Monk again? Nee.
We
need to do a
Shrubbery.
of it just for the sake of it. African or European swallow, is it?
Yeah. Those rabbits too.
Okay. Only thing that'll get you is a holy hand grenade,
Yeah.
Obviously, Monty Python aside there, what that made me think of real quick, Monk, was the rooftop alien. Is it obviously it's a much lighter thing, picking up much heavier objects, which technically shouldn't work within physics, but hell, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess not necessarily. It could have an exoskeleton like an ant for all we know. But that might lean into the horror of season 2, especially starting off. Those things being released, that might be where we have all the politics, but that leans right back into the horror. Yeah, the xenomorph might be all buddy and pals with Wendy now, but there are 5 other aliens that is the xenomorph friends with because it didn't like the octopi.
Yeah,
So,
no, I don't think so. I think they're just connected with Wendy, and is that gonna last?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. What if because there's still 2 eggs left? There was 4 of them. No, 3 eggs. I don't remember. Anyway, there's eggs left. Anyway, we know that.
I believe 3. It might be 2 though.
Yeah.
Well, we will know for sure in season 2 of Alien Earth.
Right. So it's one of those. Does one of those get hatched and becomes a true queen? And then what happens? Yeah.
Because I guess we really don't know what makes a queen, I guess.
Right, because in Alien 3, right, she was implanted with the queen. That's why the xenomorph didn't kill. That's why there's that famous picture of her leaning up against the wall at the xenomorph. That was it, sniffing her out and knowing she was impregnated with the queen or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. With Wendy's ability to talk to him and kind of be a queen in her own sense, it's going to be, it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do with it. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, I got to get out of here, but
let's call it a day.
Barscapetrian tomorrow. If you join our Patreon, you can.
I might not be able to do.
You might not be able to do it. Okay.
Yeah, I have a voice demo tomorrow.
That's
but
fine.
we have Stargate Outpost this coming Wednesday. Greg and I will be back for Radical Wasteland on Friday, and then I think we might have a little Joshua and Patton back this Sunday. I will let you all know, and might talk a little more Star Trek, and there will be an Alien Afterthoughts Alien Earth Afterthought, sometime this week. Probably Tuesday or Thursday, but we'll keep you posted.
Right. I should be able to be in chat at least if I can't be on.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is just y'all's little tickle. This is your precursor for that. But thank y'all for hanging. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all this week.
Nice seeing y'all.
And adios.
Bye.